Bone Tactical, really cool new product. This is our Bowie knife bushcraft sheath. It's the Bowie knife leather sheath, Bowie leather sheath, all right, whatever you want to call it. Outdoor survival, end of the world, being a BA. This sheath is just about as cool as it gets. If you're a guy that likes knives, a Bowie knife and a handmade Bowie knife and a handmade leather sheath really is kind of the epitome of every collector's dream, I guess. It's like the little kid in you when you get to, well, me, when I get to design and produce something like this, and you when you get to hold it and own it, I guess is just kind of very happy, jumping for joy, so to speak. But just an awesome leather sheath. I'll run you kind of through what it is and the features of it and why it's one of the most effective leather sheaths on the market, how we've brought leather into the modern world. And I will say, first off, this Bowie knife sheath fits all of our Bowies. So if you own any one of the most effective Bowie knives in the world, any of the there's three of the most effective Bowie knives in the world. They're all sold at bonetactical.com. And if you own any of them, this one sheath will fit all of them, okay? So just an awesome, cool thing there. This particular sheath, I will run you through the basics. They come with a little pouch right here that holds a sharpening stone, all right? They come stock with this little pouch. Pretty awesome. All of our Bowie knives are 5160. 5160 is an incredibly tough steel. It's never going to crack. It holds an edge very well, but it's also field resharpenable. So it doesn't, it's not like a stainless steel knife that's impossible to sharpen. You really just don't want you never want a large brittle knife. So there's not really any stainless steels that I would recommend for making a knife this size, especially, you know, if you're going to be doing any kind of chopping. I'm just going to think that even what they call super steels, they're just going to be brittle. So they just don't hold up to actual use like they do in lab results. That's kind of one thing that a lot of these guys that only know about knives because they, you know, sit at home with Cheeto dust on their fingers in mom's basement, commenting on my YouTube channel and reading statistics and reports about knife steels. What they don't tell you is at what Rockwell hardness they're likely to chip and shatter and break. And what they don't tell you is that whoever's doing your heat treating and whether they know their stuff is about 1,000,000 times more important than what kind of steel you start with. So you could pay $1,000 for steel or $100 for steel. And if you get a guy who doesn't know his heat treating or sends off his heat treating, and then the guys that are doing their heat treating have a bad day, that's why we heat treat all our knives in-house anyway. Just that's a little quick tip from a pro knife maker. Just make sure you look into the heat treat much more importantly than what kind of steel. From there, the steel is very important as well, but it's got to be heat treated correctly. This sheath is dual use, like all of our sheaths. All of our knife sheaths are dual use. It can be carried here on the belt for cross draw. It can be carried here on the belt if you're left-handed, and it's right-handed and left-handed, but most popular method of carry is behind the back. So the belt can slide through here, the belt can slide through here, and the knife, or the sheath, excuse me, also has two holders for the ferro rods, okay? These are both ferro rods of both diameters. This is like 3/16, I think, and this is a 1/4 inch or a little bigger than a 1/4 inch possibly. But it's got two of them just because no matter what size ferro rod you have, we want you to be able to carry it. So this is the ferrocerium rod right now currently in stock and shipping at bonetactical.com. So you can buy one of these fire starters and you can just stick it right in your sheath, or you can buy any other one and it'll probably fit because we've got all of your holes covered. And again, all of the sheaths come with a sharpening stone. We've got a bit of a variation of sizes of sharpening stones. There's two different sharpening stones, and when we ship the sheaths, we just assemble with one or the other. So it's not a problem if your sheath comes with either one of these. They're both very good sharpening stones. These are the two that we use. I tested a bunch of sharpening stones, and these two are my favorite, so I decided to go with both of them and then purchased a big lot of them. And now we have all these sharpening stones that we ship with our sheaths. They are otherwise all bronze accents, like everything, 100% bronze. They are obviously never going to rust. They're a little bit more expensive for that purpose. They're double secure here. This is where it secures for your belt. So this is double secure here. There is an option for putting this, either you can put it a little looser if you want to right here. I don't know why you'd want to put it looser, but then you can have it all the way tight. And what that does is it just allows you to reach up here like this when you reach behind your back to grab your knife, or even if you reach to your side to grab the knife, you just reach up here, and at the same time you grab the knife, you just slide your thumb down like this, and it pops the sheath retention there, and you just pull out and the knife is in your hand. So it's actually a giant sheath, but it makes this Bowie knife extremely fast to access. So, and it even makes it concealed, which is crazy. This gives you, even in our modern world where it's kind of harder to carry weapons and you definitely want to make sure your weapons are concealed or you lose the advantage of surprise, which is your only advantage, element of surprise, then this giant knife can still be carried. So, and concealed, which is just crazy, and small at the back. So it's pretty awesome, and you can just reach behind your back and pull it out and have a huge knife in your hand, which there's no other system that I know of. Let's just say that there's no other system that would allow you to do such a thing effectively. And you could really just have a massively devastating weapon like the double tapper knife here. This is the double tapper Bowie that I designed in conjunction with and for a friend of mine in Israeli special operations on an Israeli team, that counter-terrorist team. A buddy of mine over in Israel requested that knife, and now we've got a leather sheath for them. So this is an actual production model here. This was one of the first prototypes here. You probably can't tell the difference by looking at them. There's some subtle differences, the color of the leather, stuff like that. But this is one of 5 that I just finished producing, and I'm gonna put these up on the website. So this is really what they look like. They've got the holders in here. This particular one I'm actually going to put on the website. I'm not using it or anything like that other than to make the video. This one is my personal one that I'm using. I'm really only not selling this just because I made it out of a different color leather, and because there's some small details that I don't like. Some of the rivets are a little too close together and stuff like that. So I'm just going to use it personally myself. But this is actually, somebody that buys one of these is going to get this exact one, and it's beautiful. The color is just a cafe brown color, just really coffee color, just absolutely beautiful. The all bronze, 100% bronze accents. Our Bowie knives are also all bronze accents, just the epitome of art and beauty, handmade, 100% handmade. The knives are 100% handmade. The sheath is 100% handmade. The stitching is also brown to match. So just, blends in rural environments. Nothing really extra shiny, really nothing that shiny at all. Just absolutely beautiful and hard use, okay? Extra thick top grain leather. It's good as it gets. And I'm really proud of this. I'm actually going to be carrying a Bowie knife quite a bit now. And another small detail is that if you open carry a Bowie knife in the United States, it may be legal in a lot more places and for a lot more people than concealed carrying it. So the option to carry on your belt this way, right? So if I'm just carrying it like this right here, like cross draw, a little crazy, open carry, that's legal in a lot of places where it could be illegal to conceal it. So that's another option. Definitely hunting in the field, end of the world type scenario where everybody's going to have a weapon. When I say end of the world type scenario, zombie apocalypse, I'm actually talking about natural disasters, riots, stuff like that, which happens all the time. We know that riots are taking place more and more frequently in the United States. Natural disasters happen regularly, and so the aftermath of those events might only be for a couple of days, but that's the kind of times where you want to strap a Bowie knife to your belt. And now you have the ability to do that with confidence, and not just the ability to strap any old Bowie knife to your belt with confidence, the ability to strap one of the world's most effective Bowie knives ever designed or produced, a bone tactical Bowie knife, to your belt. So be safe out there, guys. Stay sharp. Thanks for watching. Bone out.